Hey, what's up, Explainverse crew? Imagine this. What if the most unassuming new face at Nevermore Academy is hiding a dark secret that could unleash total chaos in Wednesday's second season? I'm talking about a teacher who's been dropping subtle clues left and right, tying into a chilling revelation from Tyler that no one's really pieced together yet. If you're obsessed with the mysteries of Wednesday like I am, you're not going to want to miss this deep dive. We'll break down the suspicious vibes, the hidden connections, and why this could flip the whole season on its head. Stick around, things are about to get spooky. Let's jump in. Welcome back to Explainverse, where we unpack the wildest theories and hidden gems from your favorite shows. And today we're zeroing in on Wednesday's second season. We've got zombies, crows, jury schemes, and Tyler's drama, but the big bad villain? Still a total enigma. Or is it? I've spotted something sneaky that ties into an overlooked detail from Tyler, and it points straight at one newcomer, the mysterious music teacher, Miss Isadora Capri. Yeah, she's been raising eyebrows since day one, and trust me, the clues stack up in a way that screams hidden threat. If you haven't caught this yet, you're in for a mind blower. But first, smash that like button if you're hyped for more Wednesday breakdowns. It supercharges the algorithm. And hit subscribe with notifications on so you catch our coverage of part 2, dropping in just under 2 weeks. Alright, let's unravel this. Season 2's first half is packed with twists, mysteries, and enough red herrings to keep us guessing. Theories are flying everywhere. Is Enid under someone's control? What's up with Ophelia? Shout out to Lady Gaga's casting reveal. And Tyler, could Wednesday really turn the tables on him with that syringe? Wild stuff. But amid all that, one character slipped under the radar for most folks, especially outside Brazil where I haven't seen much chatter about it. Enter Miss Capri, the new music director who's got suspicious written all over her. From her odd timing to her shady excuses, she's practically begging to be investigated. Let's start from the top. It all kicks off when Wednesday's shredding on her violin, and bam, Miss Capri pops up out of nowhere. She introduces herself as Isadora Capri, and Wednesday drops this gem. Aren't you the Isadora Capri who dropped the Howl of the She-Wolf album at just 10 years old? Boom, child prodigy alert. Capri plays it cool, saying she didn't know she still had fans. Wednesday geeks out over prodigies, their drive, talent, obsession with perfection. But Capri cuts in. Good thing I broke free before it crushed me. That's our first red flag. She skyrocketed to fame as a kid werewolf. Yep, like Enid. Dropped a hit album, then ghosted the spotlight. Sounds like fame hit her hard, maybe triggering her powers too early and leading to some serious fallout. We don't get the full story, but it screams unfinished business. Fast forward. Wednesday grills her on why she ditched stardom for teaching. Capri's reply? Some fluffy tale about being inspired by the kids who saved Nevermore last season. She wants to give back. Come on. After years of fame and whatever suffocated her, she suddenly pivots to educator because of a student uprising? Feels scripted, fake, like she's hiding her real motive for showing up now. And it doesn't stop there. Throughout these first 4 episodes, Capri's everywhere she shouldn't be, or suspiciously absent when trouble hits. Like with Jury and those creepy crows. Remember episode 4? Wednesday's hot on the trail of the cloaked crowmaster through secret passages. She bursts out, finds the discarded cloak, heads upstairs, and runs into Dr. Fairburn from Willow Hill in the music room. They chat, but then Capri strolls in, out of breath, carrying teas like it's no big deal. Wednesday calls her on it. You look winded. Capri brushes it off with long day. Another lame excuse. Sure, we learn the cloaked figure is Jury, but Capri's huffing and puffing. Could she be in cahoots or tied to something else shady? Her vibe is off, and it hints at a bigger secret brewing for part 2. Now here's the bombshell that seals it, the Tyler connection I teased at the start. Early on, maybe episode 2, Wednesday visits Tyler at Willow Hill. He's in this fortified cell, and he casually drops, "This was built for a schizophrenic werewolf who snapped and went on a rampage in the summer of '92, no gender specified in the original, just werewolf." Side note, some dubs messed that up, but stick to the source. Why does this matter? Flashback to Capri. She was a 10-year-old prodigy in, you guessed it, 1992. The actress is around 42 now, so timeline checks out. That album, Howl of the She-Wolf, total werewolf nod. What if the fame pressure triggered her first transformation way too young, turning her into an out-of-control killer? Schizophrenic rampage fits, losing it under the spotlight, mowing down victims, then getting locked up at Willow Hill in that very cell. That's why she broke free from fame. It was destroying her, literally. It all clicks. The killings stop her career cold. She gets treatment, vanishes from public eye. Now, years later, she's at Nevermore, maybe recommended by Willow Hill folks like Dr. Fairburn, who she conveniently meets in that suspicious scene. No explanation for their chat? Probably because Fairburn knows her history, treated her, or is checking in. And Willow Hill's already shady this season with Jury, Augustus, and Sonia Hurst. Capri could be a plant ready to wolf out and wreak havoc if triggered. Oh, and don't sleep on the Part 2 teasers. Capri's the one peering out the window at Enid during a full moon freakout, looking worried, saving her, or about to transform herself and become the real beast. As an older, more powerful werewolf, she could overpower Enid easy. Who stops her? Maybe Tyler steps up. Pure speculation, but it fits. Look, this theory ties everything together like a noose. Is she the ultimate villain or just a pawn? No clue yet, but the dots connect too perfectly to ignore. What do you think? Am I onto something or reaching? Drop your takes in the comments below. Move on to one of the biggest questions about Part 2 of Wednesday Season 2. Who is Lady Gaga going to play in this series? And it seems we finally know what character she'll portray. But first, we need to remember that, at the Tudum 2025 event, they gave us some details. They said she would play a legendary teacher at Nevermore Academy named Rosalind Redwood. But in an interview a few days ago, Jenna Ortega herself said the following, assuring through this dialogue that Gaga won't be a teacher at Nevermore Academy and that what we heard is wrong. That's a contradiction. Who do we believe? Obviously, sometimes production members tell these kinds of lies to confuse the audience, but, on the other hand, there's a theory that fits both stances, and I'll tell you about it now. Let's recall that in the latest trailer we heard a voice saying, "But I warn you, you'll have to pay the price," which, as we know, belongs to this artist. And what we need to highlight here is that her voice, Lady Gaga's voice, sounds like it's coming from beyond the grave. And there's the first clue. Now let's also remember that in the latest trailer we see Wednesday, Morticia, and Hester Frump performing some kind of spiritualist ritual, as if they were trying to communicate with the dead. What if, in this ritual, these women are actually summoning Rosalind Redwood, Lady Gaga's character? If this turns out to be true, it practically confirms that Lady Gaga will be a ghost or a specter, whatever you want to call it, summoned by these women. As you can see, these two stances would fit with this supposed character. Rosalind Redwood could appear to help Wednesday in her final battle, perhaps revealing secrets or unlocking her psychic powers, which is the most popular theory. But beware, in the trailer, she herself says, "But I warn you, you'll have to pay the price." So that makes us wonder, what will Wednesday have to pay? If you're still here, it means you didn't just watch, you truly enjoyed this video. So please, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Every click, every sub, keeps me motivated to work harder and bring you the very best content. Your support means the world to me. Let's keep this journey going together. Next up is a possible explanation. One of the biggest mysteries left by the latest trailer for Part 2 of Wednesday Season 2 was undoubtedly Lady Gaga's voice with a clear warning, "You'll have to pay the price." If we assume the theory that says Lady Gaga will be a ghost summoned by Morticia, Hester, and Wednesday, as we see in this scene through this spiritualist ritual, that leaves us with the question, what's the price Wednesday will have to pay? I'm telling you, this will be an exchange. Maybe Wednesday will have to give something up for her powers to return. Maybe, although there are other explanations that could fit here too, the fact is she'll have to pay something. And the strongest theory about this is related to a body swap between Wednesday and Enid. And I know in some interviews they've hinted there won't be a body swap, but based on what we've seen of these characters, it seems like there might be. For example, this isn't Enid's face, it's too angry to be her. And these attitudes and expressions aren't Wednesday's, they're too exaggerated for her. And beyond that, the most obvious one, this scene where both fall at the same time as if something affected them. So yes, putting all this together, it would make sense that Rosalind's ghost, meaning Lady Gaga's character, helps this goth girl recover her powers. However, the cost of that help would be extremely high. As a consequence, she and Enid would end up swapping bodies. Now let's clarify something. This theory doesn't directly say the payment will be a body swap. It could rather be some kind of bolt or impulse that results in that body swap. If you ask me, the most likely thing is that the price to pay will be some kind of curse that Lady Gaga's ghost won't reveal exactly what it is, but Wednesday will accept it without knowing that said curse she'll have to endure to recover her powers will be swapping bodies with her best friend. At least that's what I think fits. Now tell me, does this theory convince you? Because I kinda think it does, I won't deny it. Fortunately, Wednesday meets Agnes this season, resolving another mystery from season 1. Who was Wednesday's stalker? At first we all thought the stalker and the Raven controller were the same person, but it's revealed that the stalker was Agnes DeMille, a girl with the ability to turn invisible, which is why Wednesday's psychic powers couldn't detect her. Agnes only wanted to play with Wednesday, kidnapping Enid and Bruno to make her solve riddles to rescue them. Throughout the season, Agnes is fascinated by Wednesday's actions, becoming her apprentice and a helpful ally in solving the Augustus Staunhurst case, especially now that Wednesday has lost her powers. Still, I don't fully trust Agnes. Her behavior feels off. This season, Pugsley became a recurring character, now a new student at Nevermore Academy, sharing a room with Eugene. Pugsley was one of the funniest characters, seemingly adopting the personality of his uncle Fester. By accident, Pugsley revives a student from a legend Ajax tells, a zombie named Slurp. Interestingly, every time Slurp eats brains, his physical appearance improves. Before eating Augustus Staunhurst's brain, his final victim, Slurp speaks, calling Augustus an old friend, suggesting they knew each other. This could be crucial for the second part, revealing more about the outcast experiments. In the trailer for part 2, Slurp looks much more human, and I think he'll continue to evolve, possibly regaining full consciousness. We have to talk about this character who, for now, is a mystery, but it's undeniable that little by little they've given us clues that he might be much more important than we think. I'm talking about the character Gideon Sterling, who we've only seen in a small photo on screen. In part 1 of season 2 of this series, we saw his face for the first time and learned, thanks to the news and, well, also Bianca, that Gideon is currently a fugitive from justice and is hiding from the FBI. Another thing we need to remember, and it's very important, is that this man is the leader of the morning song sect, or Melodia Diurna as it was called here in Latin America, that supposed spiritual movement that was actually a cult of manipulation and mind control, with its sole interest being to scam people and steal their money. As we know, this sect deeply marked the lives of Bianca and her mom, who were victims of its deceit for some time. We also learned that the only reason Gideon married Gabriel, Bianca's mom, was to exploit her siren powers. In the first part of the second season, we learned that Bianca seemingly rescued her mother from this sect, and she herself was the one who turned Gideon into the FBI. And something very important, it seems Gabriel, her mother, has more evidence incriminating this man and is afraid to reveal it. The FBI couldn't capture this man, but they did manage to dismantle part of Morning Song. There's a huge possibility we'll see Gideon Sterling in part 2 of season 2 of this series, facing off against Bianca, and maybe even Wednesday. With everything I've told you, many fans have created a very interesting theory that I'll share with you next. And trust me, it fits and might blow your mind. One of the theories that's been talked about the most lately regarding part 2 of Wednesday season 2 has to do with an unexpected connection. What if Barry Dort, the principal of Nevermore, is actually secretly working for Gideon Sterling? Yes, the leader of the Morning Song sect. And although at first it sounds far-fetched, we need to consider the storyline that part 1 of Wednesday season 2 has guided us through. It's not for nothing that we saw this scene when Bianca and Ajax were sneaking Bianca's mom into Nevermore Academy. And right there, they overhear a very mysterious conversation. Apparently, Barry Dort was talking to someone important. This man assured them they needed to be patient, and that their mission wouldn't fail. So coincidence? Many fans think not. Continuing with this theory, according to many fans, Barry Dort could be an infiltrator for Gideon, placed as principal to carry out a new scam plan. It's always been suspected that Barry Dort wants to steal money, especially with his insistence that Hester Frump, the wealthiest former student of Nevermore, donate money to the academy. It also makes sense why Barry Dort put so much pressure on Bianca, practically forcing her to manipulate people to raise more funds. And as we've seen in the trailers, it seems Bianca will indeed manage to manipulate Hester Frump into donating a huge fortune. Maybe Barry Dort is actually a member of Morning Song still working with Gideon on a scam to steal all the money at Nevermore's fundraising gala. I won't deny there's another theory that says Barry Dort could be Gideon Sterling because this man would be a shapeshifter. While it's an interesting idea, I don't think they'd go that far. But what do you think about all this? Does it convince you or not? What do you say? If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to Explainverse, and hit the bell so you never miss an update. Your support keeps me going, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I breathe.